Alright. Welcome back, all you wonderful, magnificent, fantastic people. Welcome back to a really cool episode. Today I'm going to do a top 10 tips on how to not go broke in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Because I have definitely learned through trial and error what to do, what not to do, and had to restart many of parks. So, hopefully this video helps. If it does, smash that like button, hit that sub button, tell your friends, share it around, all that cool shit. Most importantly, hopefully you're all staying awesome, being kind to one another, being kind to yourselves, and I'll see each and every one of you guys here real soon. Alright, so the first one we're going to be taking a look at is starting off small, or keeping things close. The biggest mistake I made with this is I would notice that my food coverage wasn't good enough or something wasn't good enough, so I would pop in more buildings off in the distance here or way off on the other side to help cover something else. And what that was doing is it was feeding everybody, but my profit was barely going up. And then as soon as anything bad happened, you're screwed because it goes way down and doesn't come up. That really can cause you a lot of problems. So that is tip number one. Tip number two now, we have keeping an extra response team. Now, when stuff goes wrong, and it will go wrong, the way things are set up now, most of your ranger teams are going to be kept busy doing enclosure checks and stuff like that, so when you need to repair, usually you won't be able to. So I keep a secondary repair response team just for that purpose. When something goes wrong, I'll get them out repairing stuff so that everyone else can still do their status checks and keep everybody going. If not, you will come into the problem where you don't have enough teams out to repair stuff and your money will just drop very quickly. Tip number three is save often. This one I can't stress enough. It is the biggest and best part. Save. And in multiple files. Because stuff can happen, like for instance a corrupted save. Or a tornado comes through and destroys your park. If you reload that save, it might not be a tornado next time. It might just be a bad storm or something else. So, highly suggest you save very often. Alright, so tip number four is keep an eye on your guest info. Check it as much as possible. Make sure that they are as happy as can be, their food, their drink, their shopping coverage, shelter, all that stuff. Check your park management, make sure they're coming in all the time. The worst thing you can do is just keep on building and adding stuff and find out the hard way that you are not making money and in fact are losing money because you're building so much stuff and you're having to take care of all that stuff and not enough people bringing you in some income. So, definitely keep an eye on your guests and only add when you need to, which goes into this. Tip number 5 and 6, wasting money and upgrading. Now, I spent so much time training and maxing out my scientists and getting them as best as I could be, which in turn doubles their profit, sometimes triples, not their profit, how much you're paying them, and that is very bad. You can end up killing your profit just by training your scientists. So train them only when you need to, or if you have a very good supply of money coming in. Same with upgrading. Only upgrade your buildings when you need to. Don't go putting in a large amenity when you only need a small one to feed that area. You'll pay so much more for keeping that building there than you will for bringing stuff in. Watching this, oh, I'm wasting so much money. Oh man. Oh, no wonder this part failed. And as you can see, because of training, there goes my money. Even though I have a little bit coming in, I'm just almost steadily going down. It's bad. It's bad. Keep an eye on that. Which, tip number 7 is use the pause feature. This is one of the handiest things they've added to the game. If a storm hits, hit that pause button, get your response team set up, the extra one, get them out there repairing your stuff. Focus on fixing fences first, because if your dinos get out, your security rating drops and nobody wants to come to your park, obviously. So, pause your game, get your stuff fixed. Pause your game just to focus on what you want. Take a minute to breathe, think, whatever. But the pause feature, it can definitely help a lot. Not necessarily on the saving money, but if you use it properly, it will. Now, tip number 8 and 9 go hand in hand together. Storms. Storms will and can destroy your park, your income, everything. This is where the save tip comes in. I like to save very often, and if you hover over top of your shelter, you can hear the little narrator talking about the storm and what kind of storm is coming in, whether it's just a storm, a hurricane, whatever be the case. If it's just a regular storm, usually you can withstand that no problem, but if you don't have much of an income and a tornado hits, you are screwed. So, storms are something you definitely need to pay attention to, and use that pause feature, which you can see I'm not using in this clip. Otherwise, I'd be able to get things focused a little bit easier. Now, that goes into tip number 9, which is shelters. Do not forget about your shelters. Get those guests into the shelters, and you will not have as many lawsuits, you won't lose as much money, but always remember to open those shelters. If you forget to open those shelters, you will make nothing. The only income you make is off your guests, and if your guests are in your shelters, they're not buying nothing. So, you can lose a lot of money, which goes into tip number 10 here. Sometimes you may have to reload or restart your save. When shit goes bat crazy, as you can see in this clip here, we are negative 1.5 million almost. We are not coming back from that. So if you can reload a save file, go back, reload it, and you might be able to do your thing. But if not, sometimes a restart is the way to go.